Alright, I'm making this video for Eddie Connor. He wants to learn how to cook a few meals, and one of the things that I'm going to teach him how to do is make a veggie burger made with black beans, corn, and sweet potatoes. So that's what I'm doing. I would like to take a moment to mention that if you don't have an oven or you don't have 45 minutes to spare, you want to do the sweet potatoes much more quickly so that you can finish the recipe more quickly. What you do is you wash your sweet potato, poke a couple holes in it, get a paper towel that's damp, wrap the sweet potato in that damp paper towel, put it on a plate, and stick it in the microwave for 5 minutes about. Check it to see how soft it is, and it should do all right. I did that a few times, but to be honest, doing it in the oven, if you have the option to do it in the oven and you have time to do it in the oven, you pretty much just set your timer and go do your thing, and then when you come back you can start the recipe, or you already have everything mixed. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is a cookie sheet, and the reason I need a cookie sheet is because I'm going to bake the sweet potato in the oven. I set my oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to grab my sweet potatoes. So I'm going to wash them. If you're like me, you're not going to want to dirty your cookie sheet and then have to wash it. And the sweet potato gets baked, it'll sometimes ooze out this very sticky substance. So my sweet potatoes, I could just put them in the oven once the oven is prepped, but you're advised to poke a hole in them with a fork. I don't know, maybe they've been known to explode, I have no idea. I just don't want to tempt fate, so. There's one. Oh, there's the other. And that's it for now. Basically, wait for the oven to heat up, and I'm going to stick these in for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the sweet potatoes to be done, I'm going to show you the list of other ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need cumin. You're going to need a can of black beans. This is a 15-ounce can of black beans. I have here, so I already opened the can. I've made this a few times, and a small can of these are chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. So I put it in Tupperware, and I always label my Tupperware because it has the date, because I don't want to use stuff that's really old. A small can will last you a really long time. And then this here is just some cornmeal. So let me see if I'm forgetting anything. So it says 1 medium sweet potato. I use more. Half a cup of frozen corn kernels. I'm leaving those in the freezer until I'm really ready to use them. It's usually the last thing that I put in the mix. 1 can of black beans, like I said, whole chipotle peppers. That's these are whole chipotle peppers in the sauce, so you just pull one out and then you cut it into little pieces. And you're going to use a 1/4 cup of cornmeal and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, which I don't use garlic powder, I don't like it. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You can put cilantro, like 1/4 of a bunch of cilantro chopped into pieces. I don't use it because cilantro gets expensive, and I always end up just leaving it in the fridge and not using most of it, so it just goes to waste. So but I've put it in there and it tastes delicious, so if you want to put it in there, it does taste good. 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. That's going to be for when you get to making your burgers, so actually frying them, so that you don't need that in the actual mix. And avocado, which again, that's for topping your burger. So that's going to be your list of ingredients. The most important thing that I can tell you about this is that you should take your black beans, and after you open it up and you drain them, you're going to rinse them, and you're going to drain them really really good. The reason I'm saying it like this is that if you don't rinse them really good, and they're slightly, they're more moist than not, then your batter is going to be pretty moist, and when you're trying to make a burger, it's going to be kind of falling apart and just sticking in your hands. That's not cool. So the more you can do to avoid that, the big thing you can do to avoid that is to make sure to drain and rinse and drain really well. So I'm going to get to doing that, and we're going to put all of the ingredients into a big bowl. Okay, so I've opened my can of black beans, and I'm going to grab I've got a plastic colander here. Oh, and the timer went off, so I'm going to go ahead and put my sweet potatoes in the oven. Okay, so I guess they'll have that. Okay. It's okay if you don't have a colander, however you can manage is fine, but this makes it really convenient. So, I've gotten all of my beans into that little colander. And now you just rinse them. Okay. I can see there's a lot of water still draining. So there they are, rinsed. Okay, so I'm putting the black beans into the bowl. And at this point, I'm going to grab this potato masher, if you have a bean masher, and I'm going to mash them. I don't have to mash them to the point where you make them into refried beans. You're not trying to make refried beans, but you do want to get them sort of mashed. I don't know if you can see that. But you don't have to overdo it. If there's a few that are whole, that's fine. You know, if there's a few that are just half, that's fine. But okay. My grandma told me I shouldn't do that anymore because I might end up like hurting the glass. I should listen to my grandma and not do that. Okay. So, it said half a teaspoon of cumin. I'm gonna say whatever. Like literally, that's a lot of times when you start making recipes. When you start making recipes, you just kind of figure out how much to use. Just from doing it so many times. I used to use measuring cups and stuff, and now I'm just like, meh. I don't have to. Okay. Quarter of a cup. That's just convenient. And adobo. Okay. I love the smell of this pepper. And some of them, they're like, you know, this size. And then some of them will be like much larger. So you don't necessarily have to use like, oh man, should it be this much? Should it be this little? I'm gonna use this little one, and here's a piece of one. I'm just gonna grab a piece of it. This is gonna be to taste. You're gonna, after you make it the first time, you're gonna ask yourself, oh, do I really like that flavor? If you really enjoy it, you can put more in there. If you don't enjoy it so much, I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of substitute, but I think it's delicious, but it is overwhelming if you put too much. So I'm likely to use less than that large pepper, but you'll figure it out for you. So you just cut it into little pieces, and that's going to go in there. The smaller the pieces, as far as I'm concerned, the better, because then you can really mix it well. It's kind of hard to cut these peppers. Another thing you can do is just add a little extra of the sauce. I mean, you do put sauce in it. It says with sauce, in sauce, whatever. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that sauce, add it to it. Okay. I forgot to set my timer. Okay. So, the only other thing I have to add is a little bit of salt. Where did I put the salt? Add too much salt to stuff. I don't like to. Okay, now the recipe actually doesn't call for a quarter of a cup of cornmeal. It calls for half, but you're going to use a quarter of a cup in the actual mix. The other quarter of a cup you're going to put on a plate, and that's going to be what you're going to use as a breading for your burger patty. So, I didn't measure it out, but really, since you're breading, you don't really have to measure it out. It just gives you an approximation of how much you'll end up using for a few burgers. So yeah, that's it for now until we get the sweet potato. We're going to throw that in there and the corn, and believe it or not, that's it. So I'll catch you in a few minutes. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and pull the sweet potato out of the oven. So I don't know if you can see that. It kind of oozes a little bit. And that's why I put the foil paper down. I'm going to go ahead and move one over to this plate and show y'all what it looks like. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's stuff. Okay. Okay. So, oh man, there we go. This is extremely soft. It could be softer even, but we're going to just scoop all of this, all of the insides out. We don't need any of the skin. We just need what's inside. So that's what's inside. We're just going to put it in our dish. Where you can see better. Here. Now, part of the reason that I wait to put the frozen kernels in last is because I kind of cools down the sweet potato. I don't know. You don't have to do that. It's just what I do. But that way I can mix it immediately. In Mexico, where I come from, just putting a sweet potato in the oven and then eating it once it's really soft like this at night before bed, that's a snack. You usually accompany that with some milk. But that's it. It's super easy to make, and it's yummy, and it's naturally sweet. And I think diabetics are actually okay to eat sweet potatoes, from what I remember. Okay, I'm just mixing it in a bit, and I probably am going to use, I'm going to use more of the, I'm going to use the other one too. I might not use all of it, but you'll kind of figure out what ratio you want to. Okay. Ooh, that's sticky. Okay, so, oh yeah, this one's really soft because it's smaller. When you get your sweet potato at the store, I like to get them kind of long and skinny because then it cooks through much quicker. Alright. Doggies can eat sweet potatoes, so if you have some left over, which is what I'm going to do with this half, I'm just going to leave it here, and later on I'm going to have a treat for my puppy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab my frozen corn. So I'm not sure, what does it say? It's half a cup of frozen corn kernels. I mean, again, you get so familiar. I'm not using measuring cups, but don't let that deter you. If you want to use measuring cups and do it all perfect like, that's fine. I just guesstimated according, because the thing is, they're telling you this is a medium sweet potato. That's not an exact measurement. You know, if you have a little bit more sweet potato, then you might need a little bit more of other stuff. Or maybe you don't like corn that much, or just whatever, you know, you make it your own. It's not like baking where if you're off by like a teaspoon or a quarter of a teaspoon, you're all ruining something. So, this is kind of what the mix looks like, and I'm gonna mix it real good so you can see it. Where is that? There we go. I know it doesn't look super appetizing right now, but trust me, when you make this for yourself, you're going to be surprised at how delicious, how flavorful it is. The chipotle, it gives it a really nice flavor. You're supposed to top it with avocado, and you could put mayonnaise in it, but I never put mayonnaise in my burger. But you know, I just like the flavor of the chipotle and the avocado together so much. So, as you can see, it's really easy for me to mix this. The sweet potato is completely soft. There's no large chunks of sweet potatoes. Here's one little one, which, you know, I like it to be all really, really kind of putty-like. You know, but once you've married all of that together, once they've said their vows, then you have the option to either make yourself a patty and go ahead and bread it and cook it, or you can go ahead and put all of this in a Tupperware and just wait for, you know, when you feel like eating it. This is already cooled off, so I could actually put this in the fridge, and that's again why I waited to put the frozen corn in there, so that the temperatures would, you know, transfer. Alright, so as it turns out, I don't really feel like making those burgers right now because I'm addicted to pasta and I'm craving pasta, so that's what I'm gonna make next, which is a good thing because that's another recipe I'm gonna do. But if I don't make a video on how to actually make the patties, it's real easy. You just grab the mix and you make a little ball and you ball it up and then you patty it up till it's like this, like I don't know, like a hamburger would be, except it's not made of meat. It's just, you know, a patty made of veggies. The most important thing is you're going to get a flat plate with some so I'm gonna go ahead and cook up a burger. I made this patty mix yesterday, and as I mentioned before, the good thing about the recipe for the sweet potato black bean burger is that you can always just make this stuff later. I'm turning on the burner at like medium, a little bit under medium. Here I have some cornmeal. This is the burger mix. If you put cilantro in it, it's gonna have a little bit of green in it, obviously, but I didn't use cilantro. So I grab a little bit, and you can kind of see it shaping up. You see, okay, how big do I want it to be? You know, you will figure out how much you want. It's just like making a regular burger. What I like about this particular mix is that it's very dry. It's very dry. I've made them moist. Again, the important thing is to get rid of as much of the bean juice and water after you drain and rinse it as possible. That would be my big tip. As you see, I am breading it. Plopped it on there on one side, plopping it on the other. That's good. Alright. And I'm going to put some oil. Woo! I'm not going to give you exact measurements of the oil. 2 or 3 tablespoons, I guess, is, you know, that is what I would do, but as you can see, I'm just kind of winging it. So I wait for it to be able to sizzle. If you want to test it, I mean, I'm by myself in my house. It's just me. No one else is going to eat out of this. I'm not inviting anyone over, so I just kind of spit a little bit on it to see if it sizzles. If that grosses you out, I'm fucking sorry, whatever. But at any rate, I wait until it sizzles. You can test it with some water. I mean, this has some condensation, I guess. I could always just see if that sizzles. It's not sizzling yet. When it does, you just lay it on there and you're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. And after it's been 5 minutes, you're going to flip it and do another 5 minutes, and then you put it on your bun. That's about done. Okay, set my timer for 5 minutes, and now I can actually wash my hands. So you got breading and all that. Alright, so the timer says it's about time to flip the burger. What I like to do is is I like to get some oil to wrap around the pan, get as much oil underneath it as possible. The breading is going to soak up a lot of oil, and if you don't have enough oil, it's going to stick. It doesn't have to be drowning in oil. You can see it's not that much oil. I'm not crazy, but now, as you see, this patty is not like broken into pieces. The cracks that you see are totally superficial. It's sticking together real good, and that's the end goal. You want to be able, to flip it, not have it. Oops. You want to be able to flip it and not have it break apart. After that, you just plop it on your bun like you would a hamburger, and I like to top mine with avocado, and that is why am I not talking to the camera? That's everything. Yeah, get to know my hands. So again, this one was for Eddie Connor. Shout out, and thanks for watching. Bye.